Welcome back, boss. So you want to know how to build a strong culture with a remote team. You're in the right place. And let's jump right into it. Remote teams are a phenomenal way to cut costs and get you the help that you need to grow your business right now, no matter whether or not you think that you can afford to hire help or not. But when you have remote workers, there's also this part of your brain that really wants to make sure you're getting what you pay for and that you're getting the results that you want. Culture cultivates productivity, quality, and employee retention. So it's really, really important. How do you do all of that when your team is spread out?
You can do that? How?
This is actually one of my secret talents, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm Amy Walker. I'm a small business strategist, and I have been running a team of virtual independent contractors and overseas VAs for over 10 years, and I love this topic. So whether you have a team of employees working from home you're trying to keep them productive, or you've got independent contractors and you want to know how to get them more engaged without, crossing any of those lines for what you can and cannot ask for from them, these strategies that I'm sharing today are going to work for everyone that has a virtual team. The first thing that we're going to look at is your core values. Your core values are really the heart and the underlying piece of who you are, what you stand for. These should be the things that you use to make decisions in your business. These should be the things that you use to decide who you hire, who you fire.
Decisions.
They're really, really important. And too often when I listen to people's core values, I'm like, that's just like a basic standard, and anything less than that would not even be acceptable in business. So let's cover what this looks like. The best way I can show you what it should look like is to actually share with you what my core values are as a company. So I'm going to read them on my screen here. I'm not looking at you for a second. Number 1, we exist to create client wins. Number 2, we are innovative thinkers and proactive problem solvers. Number 3, the simplest solution is the best solution. Number 4, we are in the freedom business. Number 5, personal ownership plus collective creation equals an unstoppable team. Number 6, be more profitable each year. And then the last one is probably one of my favorites. It is that drama is great in books and movies, but calm is best in business. When I look at other people's core values, a lot of times it's things like, we believe in integrity. Well, yeah, I would hope so. Like, what business out there should be like, yeah, we like to scam people and we're pretty shady, but do business with us.
Look a little shady to me.
Right? Like, integrity is a basic standard. We care about our clients is another one. You should care about your clients. That is a basic standard. But that isn't enough to be able to help you know how to make the right decisions. So for example, we exist to create client wins. We could say we believe in high customer service and doing what's right for the customer. But that's not as strong as saying we exist to create client wins. That is our whole purpose. So if a situation comes up and we're looking at it going, okay, does it make sense to do this or does it make sense to do that? Well, which one is going to create the better client wins?
What do I do?
This one. Okay. And also, is that going to allow us to be more profitable this year than last year? No. Okay. Well, how can we create that while still being more profitable? And by the way, what's the simplest answer? These core values are what guide the decisions that we make and move us and propel us forward as a company. The second thing that I want you to look at is your vision for the company. In fact, I'd love to hear from you in the comments here. Do you have a written vision for the company? And do you review it often? Tell us in the comments below. In your vision, I want that to include what is the mission of the company, which is like basically why we exist. Why do we exist? Why are we here?
What is our purpose?
I also want it to include information about who you serve. And where are you going in the next 3 years? And then also, what is the long-term vision for the company? There needs to be something more than just we're trying to hit this sales goal this year. Like, why are we hitting the sales goal this year? What's that part of? What's the bigger purpose that we're working towards? The reason why I like 3 years and long-term is because sometimes long-term is so big and awesome that people can be totally on board with it in their minds, but they're not actually moving towards it because it feels too big and too far away. And 3 years is a good place to be able to measure out and monitor progress towards that long term. The next thing that I love about my team, I love our culture. So our culture is kind of an extension of the vision and it's an extension of the values, but What I look at here is how do we support each other? How do we interact with each other? How do we communicate with each other? And how do we handle conflict? And we've been really intentional about all of those. So for example, we have a policy that we don't throw anyone under the bus. If we make a mistake as a company, then we made a mistake as a company. And the individual needs to take accountability and show ownership over that, but the company will wrap themselves around that person who made the mistake in love, in support, in education, so that they can step up and do it right the next time. And we won't ever tell the client, oh, sorry, this person screwed up. Don't worry, they're new, or we got rid of them. Like, nobody gets thrown under the bus, even the ones who did get fired. That forces all of us to take high levels of personal accountability. We also, when there is conflict, we ask that first you go to that person and have a conversation with them. We even have scripting, conflict resolution scripts that actually come from my book. If you want to go to Amazon, it's Walk Your Talk, Take Ownership, and Lead Like You Mean It. It's got scripts in there that will talk you through how to have those, but that's their first thing, is they need to go to each other, try to resolve the conflict. They should not be complaining. Nobody should be complaining about anyone else unless we're actually trying to do something to make it better.
Oh, stop complaining, Lindsay.
So having that policy in place for what your culture looks like is going to make a big difference. But if you don't have the first two, and then you go and try to put the culture in place, it doesn't really stick, because you have all these different people who are aligned with different sets of values, instead of having a group of people who are aligned with the same set of values. They're going in the same place. They want the same thing. They're moving the same destination. And now they just need a culture that helps them stay together. Next, I want you to take a look at your communication. How is it going? You should be having regular communication. You should be responsive to your team members. Your team members need to be connected. So this is usually best facilitated through an app like Slack, or a group chat on WhatsApp, or maybe even having a team Facebook group. But there needs to be a place where your team members can be communicating with each other regularly on projects and keeping things up to date. If they all feel like individual silos, it's really hard to get that synergy that you would get if you were working together in person. But it can be done, because we live in this modern, amazing world with awesome communication tools. I hope that you are having regular meetings. It's really important. I hope that your meetings are not overly long or a big waste of time. If something can be handled through email, it should be handled through email. But meetings are important. I like them to be short. I like them to be succinct. I like to use them as a way to reinforce the values, reinforce where we're going, and allow us to be able to come together and be productive on the things that could not be accomplished through email. That makes people want to show up for the meetings, because they know that they get a lot done and that their week is better and easier and smoother if they attend. Then we get to just sprinkle on the culture over the top of it, and it creates a really cohesive team experience. The next tip that I have for you is to clean up messes quickly. If something is not going well, address it now. Don't say, well, it's not really a big deal, so I'm not going to worry about it. No! If anything is off track, address it. Address it when it's small, because messes grow over time. If you can just do like a little quick spill, it's a lot better than letting water sit and then you're getting mold in your carpet and it all has to be ripped out and it turns into a major construction project, right? Address the problems when they are small so they don't have space to grow. And then the last thing is figure out, how are you going to celebrate birthdays, holidays, do bonuses? How will you reward and celebrate together as a team?
Celebrate good times, come on!
Because even though your team is spread out, even though they're not actually employees, they don't work for you in that same relationship, they're a contractor, like you still want to make it fun. You still want them to enjoy being a part of this team. So there you have it. Those are my tips for you. Now that we've talked about culture, I really want you to go check out the How to Hire Masterclass. It's a 15-minute masterclass that walks you through how do you take this information of culture and then use that in like your job posting and in your interviews to make sure you're getting the right people on your team at the right time, doing the right things to help you create really sustainable growth. And that, my friends, is how you are going to maximize your success. So go check out that video, and I can't wait to see you back again.